Saludos amigos y amigas de Silva.com, les habla Jorge Silva, su anfitrión, y volvemos con la gotita diaria, en esta ocasión con una gotita muy especial, donde vamos a estar escuchando de una eminencia en el tema de Lean Startup. Su nombre es John Blaho y él dirige una organización en Nueva York, de la cual yo participo, donde se está adiestrando a emprendedores y emprendedoras sobre el arte y la ciencia de desarrollar un nuevo negocio utilizando la metodología de Lean Startup. En esta ocasión, John nos va a hablar sobre el tema de cómo identificar a tu audiencia y qué tienes que saber sobre tu audiencia. Así que sin más, los dejo con John Blaho y espero que disfruten de esta gotita.
Let's start easier. What's a customer archetype? What does that mean? Someone throw it out.
Like the general, just general nature of the person that you're trying to have.
General nature. Go ahead.
It's actually the specific nature.
The specific nature. Okay, one more. Someone from the back.
I was also going to say just a broad spectrum of
Broad
customers.
spectrum. I mean, so we got broad and specific. The answer is, it's both. It's specific about broad topics. It's their persona. It's everything you can possibly know about that individual. That's what an archetype is. Their position, their title, their age, the sex, the role in the company that they work. How do they buy? You know, if they're in a company, do they have a discretionary budget? How much is it? What matters to them? This is the key. What motivates them? Is the reason that they're going to use your idea to save time, to save money, it'll get them promoted. You need to understand that level of their archetype. Who influences them? And all these slides are in the instructor deck, so you have access to them. This is a big one. Who influences them? Why do they do things? Is it because someone tells them to? Is it because they only have the power to say no? They don't have the power to say yes. Someone else has to say yes. You have to understand all of that. You know, and to understand what motivates them and what influences them, you have to understand what they read, who do they listen to, do they read blogs, do they do podcasts, do they read magazines? All of this you have to understand. If you're really going to do this, if you're really going to launch a business and try to close that first sale, you need to understand all of this. You really do. You really have to understand who the user is. Okay? And it says, draw a day in the life. Like they get up, you know, they go to work, they shower, they go to the gym, they play sports. You need to know what that person does every single day in order to understand how you can help them. Clear? Clear? So that is the archetype. That is the archetype. So now I'm going to take it one step and make it more complicated for you. So that's, you know, the question was, who is your customer? That's what we're always asking about, right? Okay, so does anybody know what this is?
Oh yeah.
Hoverboard, okay.
Yeah, it's a disaster.
Who has, so that's the technology. Give me two features of this technology.
There's no, I mean, not choice, but
No handles, but that's not really it.
Convenience.
What's it replacing?
transportation.
Skateboard.
Skateboard. So now, it's a replacement of a skateboard. Give me two features of it. Motorized, yes.
And I was gonna say motorized too.
But what else does it have on it? This one doesn't have it, has it on the back.
Lights.
Lights,
Oh, nice.
okay? So you know what it's replacing, and here we're just throwing out two features. Motorized, and it's got lights, okay? So, who in this ecosystem, Bart. So the user, so Bart wants to replace his skateboard. He's got a pain point, right? What's the pain point he has with the skateboard? The current skateboard.
The
current solution he has. He has to power it himself. That's one problem. What else?
Outdated.
Outdated. It's the coolness factor.
It could break on him.
It could break. Yeah, but he could probably fix it. This breaks and burns. Yeah. But you're getting the idea. So he has an outmoded technology, and he has to work at it, right? So he's lazy. That's an archetype. Okay, that's part of the archetype. He's lazy,
Right.
but also he's cool. He wants to be the first kid on the block that has one of these. That's not a pain point. That's a gain. Right? So don't forget things that make people feel good. Okay, so startups really focus on being aspirins, painkillers. Okay, but if you really want to make the money, you sell vitamins. Okay, you make people feel good. Okay, so don't forget the vitamins. Don't make that your main value prop. But if it makes them feel good, don't forget that as a value prop. All right. So now we know the technology, we know who the user is. So Homer's the economic buyer. So everybody knows, all right, here's the test. What's that? Duff beer. Okay. Just want to make sure people still know, right? Okay, so here's the economic buyer, but clearly Marge is the decision maker, right? So what about Milhouse? Influencer recommender, but up or down?
Down.
Probably down. Right? Probably down. So he's a negative. So who is he going to be influencing?
Bart.
Well, he's going to say, don't do this, you're going to break your head, they go on fire. Maybe Marge and Homer. Maybe, right? Could do that, 5 minutes. Okay. What about Mr. Burns? He probably owns the company. That's exactly. No way. No way. Right. What about Mo? What about Mo?
Yeah, no, this kid.
Homer, get it for him. He'll break his neck. It'll be great. Okay. So, who's the saboteur?
Lisa.
Major influencer. Major influencer on the decision. Do you think Bart gets the hoverboard?
No.
Yeah.
Probably not. Why?
She's talking about it.
Right? Most likely, right? Okay, so that's a fictitious example of archetypes. Let's go real. Okay, a video game. Any gamers in here? Anybody like playing games? How old were you in general when you started playing games? 3? No, serious games. I mean, like World of Warcraft. Like real complicated. Teenagers. Right, teenagers. Okay, so there's a game. Okay, so the potential user is a teen. Right, for a fantasy game or something like this. Who are the influencers and recommenders? Friends. Who else?
The game
A lot of older people are influencers, big brothers, big sisters, whatever. Commercials are influencers. That's marketing. Let's not get into that. But again, the decision makers, economic buyers, that makes a lot of sense. Probably sane. As a teenager, you really can't afford it unless you're working. Right? But it could be parents, the influencers and the decision makers of the economic buyers could be influencing, oh, that's too violent, they shouldn't be watching this, things like that. All right? And again, who's the saboteur?
Peers of the parents.
Peers of the parents. Or siblings. I didn't get that when I was a kid. No, I mean, you have to understand this whole ecosystem. But let's turn it around. Let's say that the video game is actually an educational video game. Right? The teen is not doing so well in math. And it's an app to help them in algebra. Does the user want it?
No.
You need to understand that. Right? Who are the influencers and recommenders?
Parents,
Teachers, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, neighbors, okay? Counselors at school. You'll never get into college with grades like that. Okay? Clearly they're still the same people. Who's the saboteur?
Friends.
Maybe friends. I mean, that gets into the coolness thing. But who else would be the saboteur for an educational game, for example?
The action games for the...
No. Who would try to influence the parents to say, oh, those apps don't work? Teachers or tutors?
right?
Teachers, because I'm doing my job. I mean, this is all theoretical, but you have to understand that in every system, there's someone who it is not to their benefit if this works. Tutors, the person who they're paying after school for, helping the person with their math. The teachers saying, oh, we're teaching fine, you don't need an app for that. Okay? Getting an understanding of all, so these are customer types. All right, so now, that was in a B2C situation, business to consumer. That's easy. Most of you are that. How many people here think that they might actually be selling to another business? Yeah, there's a lot. Okay, so now in a situation when you're selling to a customer, who are all these people? I mean, who's your customer there? I mean, in some ways, if the team has the money and wants to buy a video game, they are the user and the economic purchaser, the decision maker, everything, right? That's the beauty of B2C, right? But in a company, there are many levels of, this could be the financial person, this could be the owner of the company, this could be people who work there, this could be someone who actually, that's their day-to-day job that they have to work with. This could be the person whose job will be done away with if the technology comes in. So in a company, so if you're having to work to sell to a company, it's an ecosystem of all these people you have to understand, satisfy, and appeal to in order to close that first deal. And you need to understand the archetype of every single one of these people, right? Your user, what motivates them? They want to get promoted. They want to get things done faster. The economic buyer needs to save money. They have quarterly reports. There's all these different things. Okay, so we need to, so just keep this in mind. Think about all of these people for yourself, and let's finish right now. The business thesis. I told you to watch the VP video. What's the main benefit of your idea? Now, think about for whom are you creating the value, and why is it must-have for them? We heard a couple of people who said, we have backup generators. We don't really need this. It's nice to have a backup to the backup. That didn't sound like a must-have for me. I would start looking for someone else who has an absolute must-have problem that they need solved yesterday. Okay, so remember, benefit of your idea, for whom are you creating that value, and why is it a must-have? Right? And then to leave it with, get out of the building, you've learned the power of the customer discovery, please try to reform. I think Arbor said it well. Don't make statements, form it as a hypothesis. Keep that in the back of your mind. All right?
Yay.